Okay, three, two, one. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Gum Pop Podcast. Once again, I am your host, the Gum Card, and I am here once again with Daisy and John. Shadhowe didn't make it to this time, but we do have a very special guest joining us later on. So, first things first. Let's talk about the number one thing that we went to go watch. We went to go watch the FANAF movie, and honestly, it was something, to say the least.
Oh yeah.
It
Oh,
was
yeah.
something, and
Yes.
we like literally as soon as we got done watching the movie, me and Daisy wanted to talk about it so bad, but I was like, save it for the podcast. Save it for the podcast. Like, we will talk about it on the podcast. So now we're here. Now we could speak.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Daisy. Let it all out, girl. Let it all out.
I am so excited. The movie was so good. Uh-huh.
That was just it. It's like, it was so good. Well, okay.
It was
like,
really good. Well,
okay,
how did
Oh,
you
hold
guys
on.
like the movie?
Hold on. Let me just go ahead
Okay.
and give this out as like a, spoiler warning.
Oh, true.
We will be talking about spoilers of the movie. If you haven't gone to go watch it, go and watch it. Come back to this and watch the rest of the podcast. A huge chunk of this is just gonna be us talking about the movie. I think it'd be better if we were to just talk about it on the podcast and actually doing like a 5-minute video of us just like saying stuff. So I figured let's go ahead and just talk about it on the podcast.
Yes.
So, Daisy, give me your first initial start. Like what was going through your mind, like from the beginning scenes and everything.
The beginning scenes? I don't know. It was so like I don't know. It was just good. It wasn't what I expected, like story-wise, just because like I didn't know much of the lore really, but I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was interesting. It was a good movie. Like, what's it called? Like cinematically, I guess, as well. It was really good.
Yeah, Blumhouse. I always like the way that Blumhouse does like cinematic
Yeah.
stuff. They
Yeah.
they know how to. I feel like Blumhouse has like this nice medium of having like horror mixed in with like a little bit of like comedy, where it's like it's almost like playful how they do horror. Not to say that they're not doing like scary or doing anything like that, but definitely for sure it's more like it has like a playful aspect to it, and I feel like it really showed in this movie.
Yeah.
What
No,
did
it
you
was,
think
like-
about what's his name? Josh? I always don't remember.
Josh Hutcherson.
Yeah, what do you think about
He
him?
was so good. I think he did great.
Yeah. Okay. One thing to notice, I did watch a video explaining some stuff about the movie that we might have missed. Do you guys remember when he was reading that book with his coworker in the mall?
I think
Remember
so,
when he
yeah.
was remember when he was a security guard at the mall
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he punched the guy because he thought that he was like taking the kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not sure if you guys like caught it, but him and his coworker were reading like this book talking about dream theory.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the theories that are part of like the FNAF like fandom and stuff is that it's all just a dream leading up to like the fourth game. Like, so 1, 2, and 3 are all just dreams leading up to the fourth game of the kid. Cause me and you haven't played the game yet. The fourth game. Me and you
Yeah.
have only played 1, 2, and 3, and that's basically all we need to know because the lore does touch up on a lot of stuff of 1, 2, and 3. The only thing that we don't really know about yet, but like I've kind of seen it through people who play the game, is just Vanessa.
Yeah.
Like,
I think she
know
was in the books.
Yeah, I think, like, the comment section will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's Vanessa started off in the books, and then later on, she made her way into the games at, Security Breach? And then you know, that's where she ended up becoming like more of like a bigger role.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why, like, because I think it's the fourth game where you can see what's it called, a pill, that pill bottle that he has of sleeping pills right next to his bed in the game, and in the movie it's right next to his bed as well. And that's why they always think it's like, oh, it's like a dream, it's all just a dream. And like he, like the kid in the fourth game has like all these night terrors where he's being pursued by the animatronics in like this very nightmarish way. Very, very scary than like the first 3 games that we played. And it's basically just touching up on like how it's all leading up to the bite of 83. So that's like the part of the video that I've seen. Where the video I'm referencing is from Screen Crush. Definitely go check them out. So they're on YouTube. You can search up Screen Crush on YouTube. It's 91 things that you missed in the FANAF movie, and I watched it and I was just like, wow. I was just like amazed. I was like, I didn't know it went that deep with like the movie. And
Yeah.
it's like I posted this one thing before, like literally as I was getting ready to go to the movies with you guys. I posted this one thing on my Instagram where it's like it's a scene from the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, and it's like Billy saying, it's like on the bottom it says critics review and then audience review. The critics review was like really low, but then the audience review was like in like the 70s, like high 70s. And Billy says, like, the FNAF fandom, it's like, this is like, am I the only one who understands the complex things of this movie? It's like, this movie isn't stupid, you're stupid. And then it's like grim as like the critics, and it's like, oh, why'd you have to be like that? So it's like, I thought that was funny that like that's how it was, and like it obviously didn't spoil anything for me, but like now I understand the meme more, and that's why it's like a lot funnier.
Yeah.
Because like my nephew, he tried to tell me some things about the movie, and I'm like, dude, I don't understand. And it's like, also I want to just go into it blindly. But it's
oh, he
like,
saw it already?
Yeah, he went to go see it the day it came out with his friends. And I was just like, bro, I don't understand a word that you're talking to me right now. Like, I just need to go see it myself. But yeah, like, bro, what was your thoughts on the whole how he got cut in a dream and then he got cut in real life? What do you think about that?
That was kind of crazy.
It was cool. I liked that part actually.
Yeah. But isn't that like a thing, like in like a paranormal sense, where it's like,
yeah, where like things that happen to you in a dream could happen to you in real life.
And they are like ghost kids, so
yeah.
At first I thought that was like, I thought it was in sync to what's actually happening to him in the real life, until that one scene where all the kids were surrounding him and like stabbing him. That's when I was like, oh, okay, that's, never mind. It actually is, you know, the stab wounds going into real life from a dream.
Okay, well, that's the part that like really confused me too, was because, you know, the kids were wandering around and like cutting him and stuff like that, and then he ends up in the chair. And it's like it was so weird, because it's like, okay, like in my mind when I was watching that, I was thinking, okay, what if it's like he's getting cut in real life too?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, what if it's like the animatronics are actually like picking him up? And normally, as far as I know, it looks like Foxy is like more of like the foot soldier. Because we see Foxy be, what is it? I think Foxy is literally like the first kill in the whole movie.
I think so, with that one.
Is it?
That was like the first scene?
Foxy?
Yeah. So that first security guard that we see, the one that's like
Foxy
trying to like close up the vent and the screw won't screw. So the same thing with that video from Screen Crush. They were saying that's actually the security guard that from the first game that leaves you the voicemails.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
I was wondering that.
Yeah, because he remember he talks about Foxy running.
Yeah.
And it's like you know, that like he met like an ultimate demise kind of stuff.
Hmm.
So I thought that was cool. Also, Matt Pat,
Bro,
and like
Matt Pat, that was so good.
he's
Yeah,
at
I
the
was so
diner,
excited. I was so
Yeah.
excited.
and
I
he's
saw
like
him. I was like, shit, he's in this movie. That's awesome.
the whole thing with him being
Yeah.
like lunch being the most important meal of the day.
It's just a theory.
It's just a theory.
I love
That's
that.
funny.
That's amazing. And then
That's
I'm not sure if you guys
iconic.
captured it as well. But on the employee of the month, they also had various other YouTubers that made the game very
really?
popular. Yeah. And
Damn, I
then
missed it.
I forgot his name, but I do watch some of his videos. He the taxi driver, he's also a YouTuber.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. Like seeing like all the YouTubers actually make it like into the game, like into the
Yeah.
movie, and like
Yeah.
I guess kind of that makes like Matt Pat like canon to the lore now. Like that's
Yeah,
kind
That's
of
he
so
crazy.
does.
exciting,
It does make
actually.
him to the lore, yeah.
And like all the other YouTubers and stuff. I just thought that was cool.
Pretty nice.
A pretty big moment for me in the movie was watching how like I stand with Carlos when he says like me and him have talked about like movies and stuff like that, and I know like for him he doesn't like jump scares. He doesn't like that the movie in itself just does nothing but jump scares, and that's the only thing that keeps it alive. And it's like I like the whole emotional kind of suspense and the whole kind of like manipulation kind of way of
Yeah.
like what they did with Mike and like the kidnapping of his little brother, and then him having this like kind of like this huge regret and like overly protective kind of nature towards Abby, his little sister now. And it's like how he just has to deal with his guilt and he just cannot let go. And it's like when it comes to like, you know, him seeing Abby, it's like, you know, what's done is done, and it's like now you are my now, like you are
Yeah.
the right that I can do now, because he tries to like the whole purpose of like the pills was like for him to just go back into that dream and find the guy's face, and then just so he could like, you know, bring him to justice or whatever. And like even we could tell like from when he went up to the career counselor how he could not hold a job because this stuff has literally been like eating him alive.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
like
like
this-
it is his whole life.
Yeah, like
Because
I
that was
mean,
his little brother.
but not just his little brother, it was also his mom,
Parents,
and then his
yeah.
dad. Like his dad, like literally it was implied that his dad took his own life
Yeah.
because he couldn't bear with like, you know, the kidnapping of his son.
Yeah.
And then, you know, them having their mom and then their mom passing away, and it's literally just him and his little sister.
Mm-hmm.
And also, can we talk about how creepy it was that Abby and Vanessa and Mike were all just casually playing with Freddy and like building a fort? Like,
For real.
like that was the playful aspect that I'm talking about that like Blumhouse does so well, where it's like it's such like for a moment it kind of took you away to be like, oh, this is actually like a creepy scary movie, but it's like they're just building a fort, they're having fun, they're playing music, you know, like she's just there being a kid with like all these other ghost kids. Like sad that they like, you know, they met a tragic end and stuff, and you know their bodies and like sadly their parents never had like, you know, an actual closure, but it was nice to see them play and stuff like that.
At first, I didn't like that scene, so I was like, "Where's this going?" But then, as it kept going on, I was like, "Oh, okay, I understand. I'm starting to get this."
Yeah,
I ended up liking that scene. That scene was actually pretty cool.
it was
Yeah.
cute. It was cute for sure.
It was, yeah.
I don't know, what's a big part of the movie for you that you remember that like really caught your eye, Daisy?
I remember. Well, the one that okay. They just like when they snuck in to like destroy everything. They
The
just all
murder
died.
scene where they all
Yes. But then they're like, the police was like, somebody broke in. But it's like they didn't see the bodies because the bodies were still there. And like,
died. Right,
one
but
of the
remember
schools
that was the whole thing with like the kids' bodies as well. Because remember, they searched the place up and down, but it was the one place that they couldn't look, and that was inside the animatronics.
but they weren't in the animatronics. They were like next to the animatronics.
No. They were they were stuffed in the animatronics. Thing is that like part of their bodies were just kind of showing.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Yeah, I remember like Vanessa was
It's movie
like,
magic.
working...
It's movie magic.
Well, like, remember Vanessa was also working with her father, William Afton, and he's a psycho murderer. But like, you know, she's working for the police. She could literally just fake a police report and be like, "Oh, no bodies were found. You know, we searched all over the place. No reason to look." And it's like that's probably how he kept on getting away. Because remember, she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be no use to you," because from what I learned from Screen Crush as well is that Vanessa is actually from the game itself. She's a coder that was working on a code for Help Wanted, but they ended up for the second part of Help Wanted, because the first group of coders, they ended up finding that there's like corrupt stuff that was there, almost like a virus kind of thing. And later on, when Vanessa came in, she was actually corrupted by the virus itself. So it's almost like a brainwashing kind of thing. And they kind of projected that with the movie, with it being like William Afton actually, like her dad, brainwashed her into like this kind of thing. That's why he was like, when he was pointing the knife, he's like, "Oh, remember, like you may have forgotten your loyalty, but they didn't."
Yeah.
And I thought it was nice that they like brought that whole thing around where it's like, oh, children, like before we even learn to speak, it's all just imagery, which is true. And it's like,
Yeah,
oh, that's like a thing that's actually real. And it's like, because they're still kids inside those suits, that's why she ended up drawing. And remember, like she even like drew a heart and like gave it to like Bonnie and stuff, and it was just
that was cute.
Yeah, like that was like kind of creepy but kind of cute and stuff, but it was nice to just kind of see that.
Yeah.
I liked how they set it up.
Oh yeah.
Like the setup to like the animatronics and the whole place and stuff. I like that a lot. At first I was like, I don't know, but then as it kept going, I'm like, okay, this is making sense now.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. I feel like there was never like a dull moment in the movie where I was just like, oh, like I'm kind of bored. Like everything was just like interesting and engaging.
Yeah, it was the whole way through.
Yeah.
The lady that was trying to get custody of the child, she sent those three people to destroy the restaurant, right?
Yeah.
Bro, she never mentioned them again. They just died and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, she never even brought up their name.
Also, what happened to her body? Because she was just laying there in the house.
I think.
Well, okay, I don't know if they actually killed
that's
her.
true.
It was kind of like I think she was just knocked out, because we didn't even see like any like blood or anything. Like all the other killings, we actually saw like some blood. So if anything, it just kind of looked like she just got knocked out.
True.
So I think she's the one that actually like just legit didn't die. But it was kind of like weird, like that like she, you know, she just got clocked out by Golden Freddy.
Yeah.
Also Balloon Boy. Can we talk about Balloon Boy?
Balloon Boy, so creepy.
Balloon Boy, is it that freaking what's it called?
The little figurine that when he opens up the locker door, and it's like he's just like, it's just like right there. Also, like the beginning where it's like it's Universal Pictures and then like Blumhouse, literally the sound of when you like end up like switching through the cameras, that's the exact same sound. I thought that was a nice little touch that they did.
And like the glitching.
The glitching as well. Also, I'm not sure if you like noticed, but like when like the circuits and like everything started to like tweak out on the mirror, it said "It's me." Also how like the poster was there.
Yeah.
So I thought that was also pretty cool.
Nose.
Bro, that movie was pretty. It was pretty cool. I liked that a lot.
Yeah,
I didn't think I was gonna like it, honestly.
Yeah, that
I like
was,
how we got to see the kitchen.
Yeah, the kitchen, and it's like it's. I don't think they mentioned it, but like in the game, the kitchen is literally the only place where it's audio only.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
really?
it's
Oh,
nice
shit.
because the kitchen is where I like how they kept the animatronics specifically to where they like to roam. Because like Chica
Yeah.
likes to be in the kitchen, and that's where Cupcake and Chica actually went to go kill that one guy.
Hmm.
And then Bonnie is actually in the supply closet, and that's where she killed that other dude.
I like the dream scenes. The dream scenes were pretty
Oh
cool.
yeah.
Especially when he was about to make the deal to
Mhm.
trade in Abby. Like that scene was pretty cool.
Mhm.
I liked it.
That
Was it-
scene. Oh my god. I don't remember. Okay, I don't remember.
It was
what
creepy,
anime.
but still, it was cool.
Yeah, it was definitely creepy, but it was like I don't know, but it struck me so much like making a deal with the devil kind of thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
For real, dude.
Just because it was so creepy how like the little kids
Yeah.
they're like we want Abby, and then like
For
his
real.
like dream mom was like, oh, you were never meant to take care of her. It's like look how
Yeah.
happy they are with her. I would have been like, bitch, shut up.
Dude, that scene was crazy, bro. I'm like, God, that's creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't really scary. It was more creepy than scary. The whole movie.
Yeah, the whole movie was just like creepy in itself. I do like. I mean, I think it would have been a whole lot creepier, like a whole lot scarier, if they would have made it R and they would have shown more of like the like gory, bloody things. Like the whole point when they're like in the
Maybe.
chair and they're like trying to like saw the like the mask itself. How it had like the saws and stuff like that inside of it. It really reminded me of like the traps from Saw the movie,
Oh.
where it's like a whole bunch of like these traps, and it just looked like that. Like if you've seen Saw, you'll know what I'm talking about when you go and watch this movie and they're like doing like the mask part. Like that's
Yeah.
absolutely like crazy.
I'm pretty sure they showed in the trailer, right?
I don't remember. I literally didn't watch any of the trailers.
Oh, really? Oh, I did.
Also one thing I definitely do
What?
want to say is that I'm not sure if you remember, Daisy, but I was looking over at you when the career counselor was like talking to him, and he's like, oh, like what's your deal, like according to your track record, you know, your options are limited. Literally, I think, remember when I said that I applied to be like the security guard or whatever,
Yeah.
and like they even had like the badge. Literally, that's what it looks like on the thing that they sent me. That's the Fazbear
Oh.
badge, and what the career, like the career counselor was saying, literally was the same thing. So I think when I applied, it made it basically seem like I was talking to the career counselor, which I was talking to William Afton.
Interesting.
It's confirmed. I'm part of the lore. I'm part of the
Nice,
lore.
Confirmed your canon.
I'm part of the lore.
Yeah, I liked that. I liked that twist at the end where the
Oh yeah.
the guy that kidnapped his brother
Was
and that-
him.
It was him. Was the
Yeah.
guy from the beginning that hired him to do that job?
Yeah, well, I mean, he was acting creepy from like the
He
beginning.
was,
I
yeah.
like,
That's what
I was like, I don't know if
they.
they just did that on purpose to like make
For
him
real.
seem like kind of weird, but like he was
Yeah.
just like really, really like he gave me such a bad vibe.
He
Oh,
was,
yeah.
yeah. So I was like, oh, well, okay, but it makes sense now. Okay, then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big spoilers, by the way. Big spoilers. Oh my god.
Anything
Yeah.
else? Anything that you were dying to tell me? Anything that you want to talk about, lore wise or speculations?
I don't know.
I could tell the animatronics. Some of the scenes were practical.
What do you mean?
Like the animatronic, I'm pretty sure because it looked like the animatronics themselves looked real good. Like they looked
Mhm.
real.
Oh
So,
yeah, the
I
animatronics
assumed-
were good.
So I assumed for some scenes that they used real animatronics that they built and they put them in certain scenes, and then other scenes they use CGI. That's what I mean by practical. Like
I know
there's some
for sure
scenes.
some of the scenes there's actually people in those suits.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Because the movement was pretty good too.
Yeah.
Dude, it looked good. That's why I was like, oh, shit, this is legit. This is pretty cool.
Also, I like that we saw like William Afton, and it's like as I think it's Spring Bonnie when it's like the yellow bunny and stuff. But I think it's after he's like kind of like dead and just like passed away inside the suit. I think that's when he becomes Springtrap. Like I said, if I'm wrong, I know the comment section will literally like correct me on this.
So I have a question actually.
What's up?
During the end, when they showed the main bad guy, that suit, is that suit in a game?
Yes.
It's in
Oh,
the third
really?
one.
Yeah.
Or I think it's actually in the first one too, like with the bonus scenes.
Yeah, I know that the phone guy talks about like the spring lock suits, and it's like how they're dangerous because they're like basically what Vanessa was saying, where it's like unstable when she poked it with a broom and it snapped the broom in half. And it's like, I'm not sure if you remember, but like when they threw Cupcake at the guy, at William Afton, and he like bit into him, the Springtrap suit activated, and it was basically crushing him.
Yeah, it was.
And literally this man, like at the end, remember how like Golden Freddy was like just closing the door on him, and he's just like in the supply closet or whatever?
Yeah.
Dude, this man was literally just like this is, you know, cutting back to Screen Crush, what they were saying, but he literally was just hanging on for dear life.
Yeah.
And it's like he survives. He's still alive. Because he's still like, you remember when he was like putting on the helmet and he's like, I always come back. And it's like he's literally just still like clinging on just out of sheer willpower.
Yeah.
So that's like
crazy.
absolutely crazy.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Eventually he'll bleed out. Eventually.
I mean, yeah, eventually, yeah.
No, but like even if he dies, doesn't his spirit go into the animatronic or the suit, whatever?
Yeah, I like that's what I was saying. Like I think after he like legit passes away, his spirit gets like he possesses that suit, and he just stays as Springtrap.
Dang, that's pretty cool.
Which is for the third game.
I forgot there's like multiple, like I forgot it was what, how many games were there?
8 in total.
Oh my god.
8 main games.
I've only seen 4. I've only seen 4.
I know for sure Daisy and I will definitely be playing the VR ones.
For sure.
Oh hell no. Get fucked.
There was one, like, in the dream scenes, there was one of the kids that didn't have a face.
Okay, I literally thought that was my eyes messing with me. Was it the one on the left?
Yeah, or I think it was on the right, but she was like a little blonde girl, and she just didn't have a face.
I remember there was a lot of them in the back. Like, I think the only ones that we actually saw, like, their face was Foxy and Golden Freddy.
No, I think it was because we saw Foxy. I think Bonnie had a face. Freddy had a face, and I think Chica had a face. But then there was like this other little girl who just didn't have a face, and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Oh,
What are you talking about?
That's scary.
Because, okay, I remember like in the dream scenes, like the first time he meets him, I think it's only like Freddy, like Golden Freddy, that like he's able to see his face, and like the rest of the kids that are like standing in the back, because it's like they make it blatantly obvious of like who's who, because it's like the kid with like the bunny ears, that's Bonnie. The little girl with like the yellow t-shirt with like white, that's Chica. The kid with like an orange long sleeve with like the pirate hook, that's obviously Foxy. The kid with the hat, that's Freddy. And then the one that stands in front of all of them, that's Golden Freddy. My question is, what is possessing Cupcake?
That's what I was thinking. Because Cupcake is its own thing, like it's not attached to Chica.
Yeah, unless it's like Chica's like kind of like, you know, her spirit split into two.
Maybe, but I don't know. But I was gonna say, like, I do like how the dream scenes and like all these kids kind of just like they mixed really well, or like they did a really good job like showing that based off the like the little cutscenes from the games.
Or maybe the Cupcake was his brother, the guy's brother.
Yeah, but don't you think
Oh,
that like
maybe.
his little brother would have recognized him and his sister, or like at least him, like because
'Cause
obviously it's like before his sister was born, but like
Because he
you know
got
at least
taken
Mike.
away when he was a toddler, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not really. He's a toddler, not a child or like a kid. Like pretty.
well, I
like
mean a
1 year,
child
right?
still, but yeah,
Yeah. No, you know what I mean. I don't know
yeah,
how else to
because like
explain
William
it.
Afton is like a legit like child murderer.
Shit.
Yeah, he's like a crazy guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just split from Chica. Split spirit.
Okay, yeah, let's give it our honest rating, our honest review, and why we're giving it that rating. Daisy, you go first.
I give it a 10 out of 10 because I really just liked it. Like, as a movie, it was really good. Cinematography was good. The storytelling was good. Like, I never really had like a moment where I was just like, oh, like this is getting boring. Like, I was just engaged the whole time. I was interested. And like for the story, I really like how they like put it together and like I don't know, like they just how they told the story.
Mhm.
I really like that.
What about you, John?
I'd give it. Yeah, I give it a good 9. Give it a solid 9.
Okay, why?
I did. The storytelling, pretty good. I like the storytelling a lot. I like the build up. I liked kind of like the plot twist at the end, and like the little moments, like what you said, John, about the scene where they made the fort. Scenes like that.
Yeah.
It was creepy, but it was interesting and fun, but still creepy.
Yeah.
I guess the one thing I didn't really like about it was, I guess honestly, I didn't like the officer too much.
Oh, Vanessa.
Yeah, Vanessa. In the beginning, but as it was going on, I'm like, okay, she knows, she has information about the whole situation, so I get it. But yeah, apart from that, not much to say. But yeah, it's a solid 9.
Okay,
Pretty
I'm gonna be
good.
real controversial and like real like hard about it. As a horror buff myself, I love horror movies. I love thriller movies. I like movies that give storytelling. I'm very heavy on storytelling. I'm giving this about a 7.5 out of 10. My reasonings for it is because one, let me just tell you everything that I have, like, just caveats about it. So, number one, I wouldn't really classify this as a actual horror film, because if anything, it's more just a thriller. Second of all, it kept on playing in too much into just giving out like the jump scares, which I mean we get it. That's literally the whole aspect of the game in itself, are the jump scares. As a person who's just played the first 3 games and still has like very minuscule understanding of like the lore and everything behind it, as far as like things that make it a thriller, there were times where it's like very suspenseful and things like that. But then again, it's like, when he's like running and it's like they finally figured out to use electricity on it, and like Cupcake got his leg, and it's like I wanted to see more. I wanted to see like I think the only good part that it was when what was her name, like Alex or Max or whatever, like the babysitter, how she got literally like chomped in half by Freddy.
Yeah.
I think I needed to see more of that.
Oh, okay.
More of those kinds of things. Third of all, as far as just like real storytelling goes, if you like say you're a parent, you're gonna go and freaking watch this movie just because your kids are into this, or you're just somebody that just now got into it, like recently, just like me and Daisy have, but you haven't played the games like John has, and it's like, as far as just like actual storytelling, it's still engaging. It's still very like, uh, like there is a little bit of storytelling, but at the same time, it's not enough to keep your attention captured. I think how they kind of did like an equal to that is just kind of giving Mike and his sister this kind of backstory where it's like a tragedy, and just him like the whole dream scenes, and then tying it in to the whole Finance of Freddy's thing. I think that alone is the story, but like everything else really isn't like, it's not, it's like it's lacking some flavor, but apart from
Yeah, I
that,
get it.
I liked it. Will I go watch it again? Probably not until next year. I do like the animatronics. The cinematography was pretty good. There were scenes where it was actually like very thriller, where it kind of messed with like your head, because there were parts where literally nothing was happening, but it was just ambiance. The ambiance was there. Even though the animatronics were not there, the static in the background, the voices when the people went to go and like mess the whole place up, and he tries to call for help, and it's nothing but like children laughing on the phone. Like, those are the kind of things that I also like, and that's what I feel like definitely needs to be just umped up a little bit more. One thing I did see also on Screen Crush was like, they were talking about how like at the end in the taxi, how Balloon Boy was in the taxi, and it's like,
Oh yeah.
like just like scared the guy. And then when Abby asked Mike, it's like, oh, can we go and visit them? And he said, you never know what could happen. They said that just kind of seems like invitation for like a sequel, which I really hope they do. I really do hope that they do. I would like to see more, and I hope that they ump it up, kind of like how the games get significantly like difficult. Like you and I, when we played the first game, it was hard, but after playing the third game and the second game, I think we can go back to the first and beat it easily.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think if they did that, where it's like kind of upping up the level every single time, I think that's where, for sure, that's where like it ends up coming into more. But then again, this is like a first kind of thing. It's a first, actually, like, I think it's the first like movie, at least that I've seen, where the community, like its fan base community, came in so like, it's so close knit. It's so like, I've never seen people come and the internet come so much together about creating this lore off of just like a point and click game. Literally just a point and click game, and creating this lore, and then having the creator kind of give like a yes or a no of what the fan base was saying, as like what is canon, what is not, because basically the fans created this whole story themselves. And it's like, I haven't seen that ever since SMPs, or yeah, no, what's it called? SCPs, my bad. Yeah, I haven't seen that since like SCPs. If you don't know what those are, definitely check out SCPs if you like horror and like lore and stuff like that. Those are really good. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this segment of our Five Nights at Freddy honest review and stuff. Let us know if you disagree or agree with our ratings, and let's duke it out in the comments. But as always, just be nice to each other. It's a movie. We all just like to enjoy entertainment just because it's entertainment. No need to go ahead and start anything big. I'm not calling for a fight. I'm just calling for a discussion. So when we
what
come
if I
back,
want it to be a fight?
I mean, yeah, go ahead if you want to fight people on the internet and they release your IP address, yeah.
You know I'm not that dumb.
Anyway, when we come back, we're gonna have Sydney, our artist, come in and talk about what it's like to be an artist. So stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, and please help me welcome our very special guest, Sid. Oh.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
So, are you gonna go watch the Five Nights at Freddy's movie?
I am. As
Okay.
soon as
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
done being sick.
Okay, so we just got done talking about it. That's why, like, I wanted you to wait a little bit because I know you were gonna go watch it, but like I didn't want to spoil anything for you.
I appreciate that so much. I want to watch it so bad. I just don't want to go into a movie theater right now and get a bunch of people sick. So
Right.
keeping it safe.
Yeah.
Playing it safe.
So for those of you that don't know, and for those of you that have been watching my streams and have actually seen the day that I got like the upgrades, Sid is an amazing artist that has honestly been supporting me since like day one with her art. She's the one that did the starting soon. She's the one that has my Gummy Cat PNG tuber. She actually also did the art for the podcast, so all that kind of stuff. And you can go ahead and follow her and check out more of her art in the link in the description below. But yeah, Sid, I don't know if you want to introduce yourself and tell everybody what else you do and all that kind of stuff.
So I do art, resident crackhead.
Right,
know.
yeah.
I am trying to get in for animation. My school did just close down, so I'm looking for other options. But animation is the main one I'm going for. I can do traditional just drawing, I can do realistic drawing, digital, traditional, yeah, I just said that, my bad. Wood burning, glass painting, the whole shaboodle.
The whole shebang bang.
The whole shebang bang.
Yeah, so
And yeah.
So one of the things I wanted to definitely touch on is like, what's it like? What's it like being an artist? Like, how do you get like your inspirations and stuff? I definitely had like some people in my chat tell me that they like the stuff that my upgrades and stuff that you made for me. How do you get like such a creative mindset? Because like even for me to come up with like video ideas or like just even to do like anything creative, I need to have at least that spark of inspiration. And for you, it just seems like you're like an endless pool of just like creativity and just like making stuff
In a very specific way. Do not take by me in any way, shape, or form because I'm a bad influence, but you have to meet the wizard.
The wizard?
The wizard.
The wizard.
Those who know. The wizard.
Ah, yes. The wizard.
Yes, the wizard.
Yes, of course.
The wizard.
The wizard helps all.
Right, the wizard.
Slay.
Again, so you'll be in just this art slump. Like everyone who does art gets in one of those at some point. You're not gonna escape it. You're not gonna magically have some kind of inspiration all of the time. You're gonna have some art block sometimes. And something that helps with that is the wizard. And having people tell you like, hey, draw a chicken nugget writing on a fucking jellyfish or some shit. And then you just do it. Or just something else. But the life of an artist is it's something.
Yeah, I like the day you surprised me with like the like going live now, like that little like animation stuff, and it's like how does animation go, like as far as like how you are now, like because how far are you into like just like animation? Like you're probably like 2 years in, right? Like at least.
So I'm looking to do 2D animation.
Mm-hmm.
So my school that was teaching me has a lot of 3D animation. That's something I'm not super interested in, just because it's very hard for me to pick up in an online only setting.
Mm-hmm.
So 2D is the route that I wanted to do. I was held back a little bit just because of the 3D, but with 2D I feel like I'm grasping it a little bit more every time I like dabble into it. Everything's gonna be different. Like I'm using Adobe, and I'm still trying to figure out like how to exactly like get stuff working and all that, so everything looks very like cartoony that I've done so far. Animation is also very tedious.
It looks like it.
It's very tedious. The amount of frames that will go into something. Like, let me pull up the one that I did for this channel and see like how many frames are in it. But it's crazy though. Like, you have to do like an outline. You have to do a background, you have to layer your backgrounds in case you want something in the background. It's very tedious. You have to have a line, you have to have coloring behind the line, or if you want to get risky, you can put it in with it. But a lot of time I don't necessarily recommend it. Very, very tedious, but very, very rewarding. So the have you showed the new one for this podcast?
Which one?
Gum Pop?
Yeah, so this one's gonna go up after the first episode. This is actually episode 2. So they would have already seen it by now.
Awesome. So for the Gum Pop, it has about 90 frames.
90 frames, and you had to draw all those individually?
Yep.
Actually,
God. Some of it. So a lot of frames will carry on for however long you want it to. So they like that first little scene where you see him like kind of just like staring at the camera, he's blinking. You can hold a frame like that where he's just holding still but only his eyes are moving. You can hold just his body still for a little bit, and I held him still for about 15 frames, so I didn't have to do anything in those 15 for his body anyway.
Okay.
So it gets pretty flexible. It just depends on what you want to do. You can hold a frame for however many frames. Usually, the frame rate is like 24 to like 30 frames per second. So it plays pretty fast.
How long did that take to do?
Honestly, just like maybe 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
not that long.
But see, like, it's so impressive because, like, literally all the stuff, like, every upgrade, the one for the Gum Pop, like, all that kind of stuff, you literally did that in, like, not even a full day.
I did it in, like, half a day.
Yeah, like, which to me was, like, so, like, mind-blowing. I was like, oh my god, bro.
Yeah. I had nothing better to do. And I wanted to do it.
Oh my god.
I had no responsibilities. I had to stay home.
Yeah, because I know you've been sick for a bit.
I've been sickies.
Yeah.
Still not totally gone, but, you know.
Yeah. Alright, so, John or Daisy, do you guys have any questions that are art related to Sid before we go into the rest of our topics and stuff?
You say you do animation?
I do.
Do you have some I could look at, like on YouTube or a website I can go to?
I don't have any on YouTube. I do have it on my TikTok, some of them.
Which will be in the link in the description down below, so you guys can go see.
Do I have to have an account in order to look at it?
I don't
You
think
probably
you need
don't.
an account for TikTok.
I also have some on my Instagram if that's also in the description. I don't know.
Yes, I can add that in the description.
Yep.
TikTok. Let me see, because I actually want to see this. That is loud. Oh my god. Okay. What's your username?
It should be the same one as this. If not, I can also just send it in the Discord.
Okay.
Did you draw your like Discord avatar, like the one that you're using now?
I did.
Ooh, I like it.
Nice.
I like that you upgraded. Like you always upgrade yourself. Like, and it's always like I feel like you always upgrade yourself depending on like what your hair color is, which I absolutely love.
That's true. I do. I just haven't done it recently because right now I'm purple. I'm not red, but my last color was red.
You changed the purple?
Yeah, I changed to purple and green, but the purple overtook the green.
Okay.
So now it's like a darkish purple up top and then like a lilac at the bottom.
Okay, because
Actually
normally
really
normally when I don't see you, I kind of just look on Discord and it's like, what does her avatar look like right now? And it's like, okay, like that's the general idea of what Sid looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, I just haven't done one recent, but that one's pretty recent.
I just like that it's like, I don't know, like you update it where it's like that's you, and like I don't know, like to me that's just like so freaking cool because it's like you're like updating like your avatar self and the real you, so it's like one and the same kind of thing.
Yep. It's like when I have blue, I updated to blue. When I have pink, it's pink. And when it's red, it's red.
Yeah.
Even my like other little colors that I'll have, like I'll do. At one point, I had like 3D hair, so I had red, blue, and purple.
Mm-hmm.
And I made one for that too. Somewhere.
I know you and I, like out of the whole entire friend group, we're very like dyeing hair kind of like people. Like we like to mess with like our hair, especially when it comes to like colors and stuff. Also, like, are you still dabbling in like doing tattoos?
Yes. I just fixed one of mine. I made it a little darker.
Yeah, for context, Sid does also tattoo herself.
Wait, hold on.
It's better than practicing geometric shapes.
Yeah.
The mermaid one?
The mermaid one. What?
On your TikTok, the mermaid.
Oh, I didn't make that. That's just AI.
Oh, is it? Oh, I thought. I was like, whoa.
No, it's just AI.
Wait, which ad did you use?
It's just whatever's on TikTok,
Which
honestly.
one? Oh, okay. Oh. Very cool. Very cool.
The ones that you can see that I did has like the little space in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be right next to the one of like the mermaid that you saw.
Yeah.
And then all the ones below it, besides the One Piece meme that I had.
One
Yeah,
Piece.
I saw. Very good. Very good. I like. Very nice. A lot better than mine.
Yes,
You said you like 2D art better than 3D art. Like, what are the major differences between the two?
Okay, so with 2D, you basically draw every frame. And with 3D, you can either get a 3D model that's already been made, already been like rendered and everything. Those typically you can either get them for free depending on what they're from or what they are, or you can pay for one, or you can build your own in one of the like 3D softwares. And then what you have to do, it's pretty complex. You have to rig it in such a way where you can make it move and make sure that its anatomy still works. And it can be pretty tedious too, just because you have to make sure that the body is moving proportionately, but you have to make sure also that you're getting all the right key points to move where you want them to. I'd say the only difference is 3D is getting to be more easy in a sense, but for me it's kind of harder to understand, just because I have been like learning in a online sense since like the whole like COVID thing. Everything's online now. I can't exactly keep up with a lot of the other students because the teachers go a little bit fast, and then stuff will happen on my end, and then stuff will happen on their end, and we just can't keep up. It's kind of easy, kind of hard. You just have to rig it a certain way. For 2D, you have all the freedom because you can do whatever you want. You can make it look however you want. And yeah.
It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
You pretty much have your own creative freedom with that.
Is that why you like 2D better?
Yeah.
Nice.
I find it more engaging and more fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. I feel like 2D is definitely more engaging, and it's like, I don't know, I've always liked the feel of like 2D, especially just because I've always liked the feel of like how flowy it feels, how I don't know, like
Yeah.
even though you are working with just two-dimensional shapes, I feel like it still feels like as like a viewer standpoint, it looks more free than actually like 3D. 3D still kind of seems like I think just based on like what kind of technology we have now, as like from a viewer standpoint, it seems still very much like captivated. Like it's still very like you're very limited, and 2D it just seems like the artists definitely have like more like freedom, and you can see more like, if anything, more emotion through just like 2D in itself.
Yeah, and I also just don't like how 3D looks. And a lot of times, like, in animes too, like you'll have like a 2D anime and then they'll have like a 3D scene,
Oh
and
yeah.
it just it looks so terrible sometimes.
It looks so bad.
It's sometimes that is what ruins a show for me.
Yeah.
Depending on how bad it looks.
Oh god. What do you think? Have you seen Chainsaw Man?
I've seen some of it, not all of it.
So I'm not sure if you know this, but the way that Chainsaw Man was actually animated was that they actually did CGI and then they drew over the CGI.
Yeah.
So I don't know do you know like the ins and outs of that?
Not personally, but I know it can be done just because it's easier to draw over something that's already there than draw something that isn't, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
A lot of animators, what they'll do is if they want to get like a certain sequence, like say they want like a walk cycle, or let's go back to when they first like animated like the horse like running.
Right.
They had to actually get video of the horse running and like pause it for every key frame. So like hoof touches the ground, up in the air, like you have to catch every key moment to make it fluid. And with working with CGI and like drawing over top of it, like animating over top of it, that's really easy just because you can pause into each frame or like each possible frame, you know?
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Sounds complicated.
It does sound complicated, but at the same time, like I get it. Like obviously I don't really do any kind of like animation or like art, but it's like the whole like horse thing, just because I just know that, it definitely makes a lot more sense now.
Art is tedious as hell, but it's very rewarding.
Yeah, see, I can't do tedious things, like even just like editing. I hate editing, and like people have told me to, it's like, oh, you're really good at editing, and it's like, you know, it's really nice or whatever. It's like I took classes on like to do like cinematography, videography, directing, things like that, and it's like I just don't like tedious things. Like I love the like the reward, like the feel of like actually accomplishing it, finishing it, and like I like the end product. I just don't like the process. So that's just my issue with it.
Also too, like even like what we were talking about before, a artist will like go through all of their steps and all their processes and go through with the tedious process for the outcome just because we want to see it.
Yeah.
Like even with anything that we create, like we'll have some really, really weird ideas just because inside like every art kid is a little crackhead.
Yeah.
Like
Really?
you are not going to meet one artist that is just at least a little bit messed up somehow. Like
Makes sense, I guess.
Well, I mean,
we're all a little crazy.
Yeah, like I mean, like that's actually true though. Like even like in psychology and stuff, like every artist, and like a thing with like artists and like geniuses, there's always like high levels of just like, not to the point of being like psychopath, but like there's high potentials of like psychopathy and like being like an actual psychopath in itself.
Oh, for sure. Like we're not totally sane. This
Yeah,
is why
yeah.
we have all the ideas that we do, and we do all the things that we do.
But it's because of like, you know, that sense of just like creativity, those like the chemicals in our brain and like science, blah 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 kind of stuff. That's, you know, I'm not gonna go into the whole psychology thing. That's not what we wanted to talk about today. But like, so people understand, it's the same shit. Okay, you cannot be a genius or a creative or somebody that specializes in these points if you're not a little fucked up.
For sure.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting.
So last question for you before we move on to topics. If like as of right now, you're still like studying and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what would be like a like big name like top brand like Disney, Pixar, I don't know, freaking Mappa, like as far as like anime or like anything goes, like animation studio, what would be one that you would definitely want to like be a part of and work for? And like, can you kind of give us like an artist insider view as to like why?
Okay, so this one I've actually been thinking about a lot.
Mhm.
So growing up, I've always been very heavily influenced by like anime, but you can't exactly go into that field because a lot of times they will hire within their own, you know.
Mhm.
That's what my teachers told me anyway, but they will hire within their own, but Disney has also greatly influenced me, but right now what I keep looking at is 50 Pop and how
Okay.
they're working on I don't know if it's Hell of a Boss, something like that.
Hell of a boss or
I-
whichever.
I don't however you pronounce it.
The comment section will always correct us. So.
Listen, I hear it both ways, and I don't want to be called out by anyone. So,
Okay, yeah, for sure.
but they do that, and they do Has Been Hotel, and it's all 2D,
Mhm.
and I think it's just beautiful. It's so fluid, everything works, proportions work. Just, it's so great. They just came out with a new episode yesterday.
Okay, like as of recording now, which is October 30th, 2023, they came out with a new episode yesterday.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
Is it the one? Okay. Is it the one where the clown that's
Busy?
Yeah. Is it the one where like they meet the other imp and the imp, like the little kid imp, is like deaf and they start like signing?
Yes.
Okay,
That is
I seen clips of that on my Instagram, like reels, and I was like, oh, it's Hell of a Boss, and like I remember the clown, and then I was like seeing that they were doing like ASL, and I was like, no way, that's so cool. Like I recently I seen Carlos, aka Shadhowe. He's not here right now, but you know, link in the description if you want to go see his playthroughs of like games and stuff. He played Spider-Man 2, and when you're Miles, there's a character, I think her name is Haley. She's deaf. She's deaf mute, and they use ASL. And the way that they move their hands in the game to like in like the cutscenes, and it's like so like fluid to where like I know ASL, but I'm not like a fluent user. But just like as to somebody who knows just like a little bit of it, like I understood like very well like how they were like, you know, signing and what they were saying. Like obviously there's like a text at the bottom, but I just think it's like so cool that like now in like mainstream media and like even more like on YouTube and stuff, I consider Hell of a Boss and Has Been Hotel to be mainstream media now, at least just from a personal standpoint. But like how
also
they're
pop culture.
yeah, how they're just like introducing more of like sign and stuff like that.
Yeah, they
Good.
introduced a lot.
Yeah, I definitely like that scene. I haven't seen the episode yet, but now I kind of really want to, just to get like the context of like, because at
So
first,
good.
like kind of spoilers if you haven't seen like the episode, but like what's the clown's name? I'm so sorry.
Fizzarelli.
What is it? What?
It's Fizzerali or just Fizzy.
Okay,
A lot of people just call him Fizz.
Okay, so Fizz looks really down, and like I don't know if something happened. There's no really context to it, but there's like a little kid imp in the crowd, and the little kid imp was asking Fizz if they can get an autograph, and then Fizz calls them over and was asking no, the kid was saying like, "Oh, you're my favorite person," and then I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like it was like they were like signing, and then Fizz goes over and it's like he was like asking him like, "Oh, did he enjoy the show?" kind of thing, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh!" Like that was so like, and the way that they edited on like the Instagram reels was kind of cute because it was like they started playing like a nice song, and I was just like, "Oh my god, that's so adorable."
They included that. It's stuff like that that just inspires me to make something that everyone can enjoy.
Yeah, for sure. Well, is there anything that you want to like plug in? You can do shameless plugs. You can talk about I don't know, new projects that you're working on. I don't know, anything.
I mean, right now I'm kind of in art block mode, so I need to visit the wizard at some point.
Okay.
Probably. But check out my shit.
Yeah, go ahead and check out
Link in bio.
Yeah, link in the description for her TikTok and Instagram. Go check out all the cool art that she makes. It's amazing, and thank you again for doing the thumbnail and the title card for the podcast.
Of course.
All right. When we get back, we will talk about our topics that we have for today's podcast. Some of them a little spicy, some of them a little, controversial. I'm just really talking about one topic, but honestly, everything else, up for grabs. So we're gonna take a quick little break, and we'll be right back.
Hey there, enjoying the podcast so far? Then you should consider subscribing and leaving a like on the podcast. You could also follow the Gum Card on all his social media like Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok, all at the Gum Card. Same way it's spelled on the channel. Now back to the podcast. Bye!
And welcome back. Now this is the part of the podcast where we talk about our topics and everything else that we like to. What's going on? What's piquing our interest? Daisy, go ahead and tell us what your topic is.
My topic is Taylor Swift.
Okay, pop off, Swiftie. Sign off in the comments down below.
Please. So she released her re-recording of 1989, and that album originally came out in 2014.
And for the non-Swifties and the people who don't know, can you explain why she's re-releasing music?
Okay, so she was signed under this one label, and this so like her music belonged to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then she I think she left that label and went to a different one. She was like, I want to buy my music, and so the guy was like, no, I'm gonna sell it to this other guy. And so she doesn't own like her first, I think it's for her first 6 albums. I mean, she still has rights to them, but they're not all fully hers. So Kelly Clarkson actually was like, Taylor, like, you can just re-record them and then they can be yours again. And so that's why she's re-recording her albums.
Okay.
Yes.
Good
and
for
so
her. Taking
really,
back what's hers.
actually, yeah. So she re-recorded 1989, and that is my favorite Taylor Swift album because it's so nostalgic for me.
Now, as someone who's not a Swiftie, is that still like pop Taylor or is that country Taylor?
That's pop Taylor. I think that's the most pop Taylor that Taylor has ever been.
What's like a radio song that like?
It has like all the hits. So it has like Blank Space, Style,
Oh, okay.
Take It Off, Bad Blood, Wildest Dreams.
Oh wow, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So
like
those are
all
like the
those
big
songs.
ones. Those are like the actual radio hits.
Yeah.
Do they sound any different? Or are
no,
they
so
about
when-
like just remastered?
Yeah, so when she re-records them, she keeps them all the same, but they just have to like redo it. So
Is
they
it
might
just,
sound like
like,
a little bit
vocals?
different.
Or is it also like the beats and everything?
It's everything, but it's just like they make it sound as close to the original as possible.
Got it. So just like minor tweaks in order for them
Yeah,
to
yeah,
just
yeah.
kind of counter-react like getting copyrighted.
Is
Yeah.
it
I mean-
similar to like an AI trying to like copy but not copy a popular song or popular artist? Because a while ago there was this like AI thing that literally creates music out of like very popular artist voice, and it's pretty good. It's kind of scary, to be honest.
Like the plankton ones?
Oh my
love
god, I
Plankton
love
ones.
the
They're so
plankton
good.
singing diamonds and this. Oh my god, it's so funny. I love that. That's my anthem.
It's
real.
the scream in the beginning for me.
Yeah.
It really is though. I love it though.
Oh my
one that
goodness.
I
I keep
saw-
saying more.
I think the one that I saw was like a Drake song, but it was completely like made up by AI. Like he it had nothing to do with it other than his voice, and it sounded pretty good. So literally that song can technically be sold and not be copyrighted. Because it's like its own song. The only thing is Drake's voice. That's it.
That's absolutely crazy. Have you heard that one thing where it's like it's a conspiracy? I think I heard it from the Shane Dawson podcast where they were talking about like how Snoop Dogg doesn't really like use his voice anymore for like I think it was
Oh, really?
like a commercial of some sort, and it's not Snoop Dogg, it's like an AI, and you can clearly hear that it's like
Oh, what?
an AI generated like Snoop Dogg voice.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like Snoop Dogg's just like, yeah, just pay me whatever, and you have like you're allowed to use my voice, and it's like, but it's not him, it's an AI generated
Wow.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
That's
it's something like
interesting.
Yeah, the AI stuff is getting kind of scary.
Yeah,
Good.
for real.
that.
Just
Robots
kind
are
of
gonna
like
take
blew
over the
up.
world. Our
well,
world.
I think
There's like even a thing like I heard about this from one of my mom's like friends. They got a call from someone that like sounded like their son. It was not their son. They got
Stop.
their voice and like
Oh
all
my
their
God.
information, and they were like, "Hey, I'm in trouble. I need money. Can you please like come like bring it to this location, or I'll send someone in an Uber to like come pick it up.
Oh my God.
Please help me." And it was in someone else's voice.
What the heck?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
scary.
Holy
I've heard
shit.
about that a couple of times actually.
Oh, what?
Damn. People
I don't know what the audience for this podcast is gonna look like, but if you're over the age of 30, don't answer your phone calls. If it's your kid and your kid's literally like you know, young and stuff, if they're not texting you, sending emojis and a meme attached to it, that ain't them.
Oh, like they called and used their
That's
voice.
so scary though.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like if you get stuff like that, or even just stuff that just does not seem like the usual for them, like definitely look into it. But
True.
like
True.
don't give fucking money away for like even just that. Like make sure this is something that's actually happening. Don't just give someone money for like someone in an Uber just to go pick it up, drop it somewhere else.
I mean,
Yeah.
it could also sound like a ransom. I mean, I would call the cops.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's scary.
yeah, just call the cops at that point.
Yeah. Well, besides the scary AI stuff, what else are you excited for on Taylor's re-release album?
Oh, so when she re-releases albums, she has like these vault songs that are songs that she wrote for the album originally, but she didn't put them on the album originally. So when she re-records them and re-releases them, she puts like new songs on the
Ooh,
album from that time.
Exciting.
And yeah, this one had 5. And one of them is like low-key getting popular on TikTok because it's about Harry Styles.
Okay, I did hear about that. I did hear about Harry
Yeah.
Styles getting like a whole bunch of songs made about him.
Yeah. And it's basically like how I
He has like a big
think
wee-wee.
oh
It's something that we talked about earlier. I think I'll mention it in the vlog, but yeah.
Yo.
but I
Give me a
think
soundboard.
yeah, I think she mentions like how well they were like in an on and off relationship
Oof.
and just stuff about their past, which is interesting to think about.
Damn.
And then she redid Bad Blood with Kendrick Lamar.
Shut
And
up.
I am so excited. That is one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs. I love the re-recording. It's so good.
I love Bad Blood, especially like in the music video, because Miss Selena showed up to the function.
Oh yeah. She popped off.
They really did. Wow, now you got me interested. I definitely have to listen to that one with Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, it's the same as the first one. It's just re-recorded, but it's so good. One of my favorite Taylor Swift songs.
Is Kendrick Lamar, is that the guy that made This Is America song?
So who-
No, that's Childish Gambino.
Oh, fuck it, never mind.
Yeah.
He did like what are his like Humble?
Humble. Oh,
Yeah, Humble is one
Yeah.
of the big ones.
Yeah, I think I've heard of him.
I'm sure if you ever seen what's it called, Black Panther, you definitely know that he
Oh, for
had like
sure.
a lot of songs on that one too. I'm pretty sure he was in what is it, Pray For Me? I think that's the name of the song with The Weeknd.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's the one.
if you've seen the movie,
Yeah.
it's the scene where they go to like that hidden casino, and they end up having that huge fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the song that's playing in the back.
Nice.
Oh, it was like she's found a new boo.
Okay,
Travis
so let's see, who is
Kelce.
it?
He's Travis Kelce, a football player for the Kansas City Chiefs. They've just been spotted at like different places, and Taylor was at his games. That was really cute.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's like a good segue into like what I kind of want to talk about as well when it came to Taylor. So they went to a game, right?
Yeah.
And then is it also that picture where Ryan Reynolds is there too?
Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's like huge speculation with like people who are like into like MCU and like Marvel like stuff that they think that in the new Deadpool 3, where it's Deadpool and Wolverine, that Taylor might actually play a role as one of the mutants in the movie.
Nice.
And I was just like, I was shocked. I was like, I need to talk to Daisy about it. I need to talk to Daisy. I need to talk to a Swiftie. Can I phone a Swiftie? What do you think about Taylor being in the MCU? Because we have Harry Styles in the MCU.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited if it's happening. I know she's done a few movies in the past.
But now she's gonna be like, a hero. She's gonna be a mutant.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
I don't remember which one it is, but I remember that she's gonna be one of the X-Men mutants.
Ooh.
All right. Well, thank you, Daisy, for informing us about what's popping with Tay Tay.
Oh yeah.
T Swift. Once again, Swiftie, sign off in the comments. Let us know if you're excited for Taylor Swift being in the MCU as a mutant. And also let us know if you're excited for the new album. Are you already listening to it? What's your favorite song? And yeah. Okay, so moving on to my segment. Okay. As of recording, and out of what I know, out of just because I actually follow Rosanna Pansino. I've always loved her baking stuff, whatever. I'm not a big follower of like, Mr. Beast. The only time I've ever heard about Mr. Beast was when he was, helping PewDiePie win the sub war against T-Series. And that's literally the only time I've ever heard about him. But now, Mr. Beast is like kind of in like, kind of a pickle, if you will. Kind of like a dilemma.
What happened?
So there was this whole big charity event where they took all of these content creators and they put them in the big, I think it was like a football stadium. And it was like years ago. It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
And so
I heard about this. Yeah.
And so Rosanna Pansino, she went on, I think it was with Trisha Paytas on her podcast. And she came out and she was talking about how she's just kind of tired of, people like just kind of like talking like mad stuff behind her back, just kind of treating her like basically like just being like backhanded or like two-faced about her.
Damn.
And she's like, she's just kind of tired of it. And it's like one of the things that really affected her was when Mr. Beast completely edited her out of that whole charity event with like hide and seek. And she was saying like, I really thought that I performed well, and I actually got I think she said 3rd place. She was like in the top 3. And she was completely edited out, and well, not like completely edited out, but like she got edited to the point where like it made it look like she looked bad. And she's like, I really thought I did good. I really thought like, I was performing really well. And when I see the video, none of like the good stuff that like I was like doing, like how well I was performing or anything, it just like painted me like in like a bad picture per se. And when I was like, it's like a whole long paragraph. You can literally like go to like Rose like stuff. I'm sure a whole bunch of drama channels are like covering this.
Oh, for sure.
I just wanted to talk about it because I never seen Ro really like be part of like anything drama, and that's like crazy. But like not only that, it's like a thing that really like is like a supporting thing for her is that Quackity. He's like a big like Minecraft live streamer. He went on, he speaks Spanish, and he went on a Spanish speaking podcast, and he was talking to them about how the same thing happened to him. He was in top 3, and he was just like, I'm pretty sure he's the one that's not at all in the video, like at all. And it's like to him that was like a big shocker. It's like, whoa, like what happened to me? Like, like I was a part of this thing, like everybody else showed up, like what happened to me? I was literally in like top 3. I should have at least got like shown or anything. And it's like they really came out and like we're talking about how like messed up it was for them to get edited to either look bad or just out of it. And it made it look like Logan Paul and some other YouTuber, I don't remember their name, but how it made it look like they were top 3, and number 1 spot being something King. He's the one that does like the illusions.
Oh, Zach King?
Zach King, yeah. Zach King was number 1, but it's kind of weird because apparently he was hiding in a place where he wasn't even supposed to be, because Matt Pat was walking around and saw like, I guess it's somewhere like in the roof, and the contract that they had with the stadium was to be like, oh, you have to hide in an easily accessible area. And Zach King decided to go ahead and hide and like make like this hole in like a roof or something. And when Matt Pat walked around, he was like, oh, that's kind of strange. I guess they're just doing like construction. And everybody else who walked past was just like, oh, it's just construction. But it wasn't an easy accessible area. And Ro and Quackity both were actually in places that were fair game, and they actually reached top 3. Everybody had earpieces. They all heard when it happened, like who got caught, because they always announce who gets caught and like the amount of time that's left. And so it like so according to like how it happened, it's Zach King in 1st place, Quackity in 2nd, and I think Ro in 3rd. And like they're like I understand her point where it's like I would also be upset, like especially like maybe I didn't do much, but at least show like how well I did in order for me to earn my spot in top 3, you know? And it's like a big thing that's being like tossed around now is like, if Mr. Beast is lying about stuff like this, what else is he lying about?
Yeah.
And like to kind of quote Ro, is she says, not a direct quote, but like just to kind of like summarize what she says, it's like he gives out all this money, he gives out all these cars, and he gives everything else. It's like, how much of it is it actually real? And it's like, it really gets you thinking. And it's like, one of the things that she went on H3H3's podcast as well, was that she was talking about how she did reach out, or he reached out to her, and she's like, listen, I don't really want to like cause drama, and like even like, you know, she was like, she's so sweet and she's so like innocent, and it's like, I personally don't even see like any form of like ill manner or anything, because I mean, she's been quiet for like a while and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, she doesn't even want like anything out of it. She just wanted to like show how well she actually performed, like show people the truth, you know. And it's like, she even tried like saying like, you know, send me over the raw footage, we can go over it together, we could, you know, do like timestamps of like good moments that I did. And like, not only that, it's like, what about like Quackity, you know? And Jimmy, Mr. Beast, did not want to send her anything in writing. If anything, he kept on pushing to get a phone call. And Ro was like, no, I need it in writing. I need you to send me a message. I need you to, you know, send me something that's in writing. And honestly, on Jimmy's side, that's like a very strong business move, because the moment that they end up in a phone call, they can definitely just, the moment that he says anything, he could just deny it.
Yeah.
But if it's in writing, you're bounded to that.
True.
So I don't know. What do you guys think about the whole Mr. Beast thing? I'm still on edge about it, because it's like, I don't really consume his content. I know some of the things he does, but it's like, honestly, I always did kind of like wonder. It's like, you know, Jimmy's a business person. Jimmy's a person that likes to have good videos, and he's even said it himself in one video where it's like, he's done like all these other like huge videos and stuff, and they just never make it to YouTube. But it's like, how much of it is truth and how much of it is just movie magic?
Because he has like a lot of channels and companies, right? So like, I can imagine it can be kind of difficult to manage everything. So he has like people that work for him, right? So like, I'm thinking like, maybe the person that edited that video, probably Jimmy had nothing to do with the editing. He probably didn't even watch the video. Maybe he did, I'm not sure. But
that's another thing that they were bringing up, where it's like, oh, it could have been like an editing error and stuff, and it's like, okay, but that's where it gets weird, because Ro was talking about that too, and what's his name, Ethan, the host of H3 podcast, he was also saying like, you know, we're gonna go ahead and throw out all these questions just so you can like clear everything out and stuff, because Ro was like, I can physically not address everybody individually. Like, I understand everybody has like questions and stuff for me, but I physically cannot reach out and like write to everybody on my own. And then so that's why on that podcast they decided to go ahead and just like say out all these answers, talk about them, you know, clear out the air. And she even showed text messages, and it's so weird to me how Ro was literally willing to be like, okay, I get it, it could be an editing error. If you really want to fix it, send me the raw footage. I will more than gladly sit down with you, go over the footage, and then we can fix it. And Jimmy's like, okay, well then call me. And then Ro was like, okay, well, I need you to go ahead and like, you know, like tell me what it is you want to do. Oh yeah, we could do it over the call. And she's like, okay, send me something in writing. And Jimmy kept on being like, okay, just call me.
Yeah, that's really sus of him.
Right, it's like, but that's what I'm saying. That's like a business move, because it's like the moment you say it over, like, you know, where you just talk about it over the phone, you could deny it. but you can't deny it if it's over like, you know, messages.
You know,
I think the way he reached out to her was through her Instagram messages, but like, I mean, to me it's the whole point of him just doing the whole like call me, and it's like him directly talking to Ro, and it's like at first it made it seem like, oh yeah, I definitely want to, you know, fix everything up, but it's like, okay, send me the footage, and he's like, okay, call me, and she's like, let's talk about it here. And he's like, okay, how about we just go over the phone? Like, the way that he just kept on pushing for that phone call is just so sus.
I'm not trying to defend, you know, anybody. I'm trying to be as neutral as possible. But when this is what I think. I think Jimmy or Mr. Beast doesn't actually have the footage because they probably deleted the raw footage. Because the footage itself is a lot. Because it's not just one video, it's multiple videos because they have multiple cameras. Because I'm assuming the video is like hide and seek, right? So everybody has their own camera. Each one of those cameras has their own video.
A long time ago. And it was a long time
oh, it
ago
was.
Too.
Yeah, that's too.
That definitely seems like a valid thing. But also my thing is why won't he actually apologize for it in writing?
That is
and
true.
like
Probably
actually
it's an admission to guilt,
come out clear, because he made Logan Paul literally all the top 3 are like male content creators.
And
you know what I think?
Sorry.
No, you go.
That, and why would you like delete footage when you can use it for like other content too?
And also it's also really weird that it's like for a charity event, so it's like he doesn't really benefit much from all of it.
Yeah.
So why would he just kind of delete that? And it's like, don't you think that, you know, Jimmy would, I know he's probably like a really busy guy, but it's like, don't you think that he would also want to give like the stamp of approval before posting anything? You know, like,
yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So it's like it's just, you know, if 2 + 2 is 4 and 4 + 4 is 8, and you know 5 + 5 is 10, then what the hell is going on here?
For real.
Just some things aren't adding up, and it's like, because one thing that definitely struck me as like 100% truth and validation, Rose said everything that he can tell me over the phone, he could tell me in writing.
Yeah.
And that's real. That's absolutely truth. That's absolutely like being like, if I want to talk to you about something, I can absolutely say it in writing as well.
You know what I think? Maybe he doesn't want it in writing because maybe he doesn't want there to be an admission of like guilt or whatever.
But that's the whole point.
Why?
It's like,
yeah, but now why? I have no idea.
But it's also so weird because it's like, Ro is the only female that reached the top 3. Quackity is the person that reached top 3. What's it called? Who is? I'm pretty sure he's Hispanic. I don't know exactly, but like Spanish speaking, and of a different ethnicity. And it's like, that's weird that they're the only 2 that actually got cut out. Zach King, it's still like up in the air whether he was like valid or not. Logan Paul, or Jake Paul, whichever one of the Paul brothers that was a part of it, got caught a while before, like, you know, Ro was even found, but they still made it seem like he won and performed better. And the other YouTube content creator, YouTuber, I'm pretty sure they do YouTube, they were disqualified. I think because they were found sleeping or something. I don't know. It's like some kind of like funny reason that they were disqualified. But it's like, you know, just some things, just like, maybe it's like coincidence, maybe it's not. It's just so much like fishy stuff that to me is just like, just something's in the air, something, you know, something's out there.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, yeah, it does seem pretty sus.
Right. So it's like I said, like, I don't care about Jimmy and his millions and trillions of dollars or whatever. I don't really care. It just intrigues me because it's like Ro has never actually like spoken out about like doing some type of like drama stuff. It's actually her first time being a part of anything drama related, and for her to speak out so loud and clear about this, and then for Mr. Beast to be so silent and be like, hey, can we talk like over the phone kind of stuff, like that to me just a little fishy. Just a little fishy.
Is it because okay, I see, I understand.
But you know, as always, we don't know the full story. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You know, this is all just sheer speculation. I'm not for one or the other because I don't know anything. I just know for whatever Rosanna said, the things that she released on you know, her DMs with Mr. Beast, from whatever other stuff that they brought up, the podcast that Quackity talked about, the clip that he talked about on his live, talking about the whole ordeal. Those are the only things, and it's like they keep on bringing out more truth, and Mr. Beast is trying to like, you know, like, bro, like we want to be here for you too, bro, but like give us something, you know, give us something to clear your name, you know, innocent until proven guilty, but prove to us, give us something.
It is definitely a head scratcher. Definitely makes you think.
It is, and it's not like something big. It's like it's a game of hide and go seek. But I mean, at the same time, when you're messing with content creators, their image is their brand, and their brand is their livelihood. So you're messing with people's livelihoods when you're messing with their brand, and their brand is them. So when you're messing with that, that is their business, and that is their whole entire thing. So I understand to that extent of why you could get so worked up about how your image is perceived on one of the biggest YouTube channels, you know?
Yes.
So, and above all else, a charity event. A charity event. For charity. Come on now. For charity. But, you know, let us know what you think in the comment section down below. If any new things arises, you know, after this thing goes up, maybe new stuff comes on. I just brought to the table what is up to date from what I've seen, from what I've known as of recording. So, but yeah, definitely tell us more in the comment section down below. Thank you everybody so much for watching. It definitely has been a great episode talking about FNAF, talking about artsy fartsy stuff, talking about Tay Swift, talking about movies, how scary AI is, and also, you know, talking about, you know, just some weird stuff that can come out of playing tag with, or not tag, hide and seek with people. Hide and seek, a child's game. It's almost like we're playing the Squid Games. So, you know, once again, we leave many questions up to you, people watching, in the comment section down below. You can follow us on all our stuff down in the description down below. John's YouTube channel is in the description. Follow Sid on Instagram and TikTok. See all of her artwork. Go like it. Go share it. Go spread it to the world. She does amazing art. What is the name of that animation studio? Vezi Pop? The one that does Hufflepuff?
Vivzy Pop.
Yeah, them. Get them with Sid. Let's do it up.
For real. And
let's get Mr. Beast on the podcast. I'm just kidding. Let's not do that. let's not do that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, night, evening, whatever you're doing. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. And, you know, hopefully I can get some episodes on other kinds of platforms. If you don't like seeing these little text boxes and the edits that I do, you can just do audio only on Spotify and other platforms that do podcasts if I ever get around to doing it.
Nice.
So yeah, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, we love you so much, and that's gonna do it for this podcast, The Gum Pop. Bye.